Hey guys, I'm back. I'm Samantha and I'm a therapist and I'm creating a video every day for a year. This is video 347. Thank you so much for your time and for being with me today or tonight, whenever you catch this. And I was listening to the great Wayne Dyer today, and I came across just one of his old talks that he did. He looked younger, so I don't know when it was. It was probably 20 to 30 years ago, I would assume. And he just got me thinking a little bit. So I wanted to just speak from my heart and not from any notes today. So I'm going to totally wing this. Please give me grace. We'll see how well I do at this. Haven't done this in a little while, but he really got me thinking about how we need to connect to our hearts. He said that when he speaks, he doesn't speak from his notes, he speaks from his heart. And it was so interesting because I've been just thinking how strange this is for me to have this experience of just speaking to the camera, although I do pretend like it's a person I'm talking to. And I try to imagine sometimes that there's a room full of people, but I'm not seeing somebody look back at me. So it's such a strange experience, but yet it has changed me so very much. And I strive to get better and better at this because I am not a speaker. I am not a public speaker. I am a speaker, actually. I do speak a lot. I talk a lot. Got in trouble in school for talking. And I'm a speaker and I'm a yapper, but I'm not a public speaker on stage, or I've never taught a class. I've never done anything like that. And I've been terrified to do those things, but yet I want to do those things. And so this was the first step in getting me to feel comfortable. And so again, I appreciate all of you that listen and comment and like and subscribe and everything. I just love you all so much for helping me, unknowingly helping me grow, because that's what this experience has been helping me do. And each day, it's so strange, but I was telling somebody today how I feel like I'm softening more and I'm connecting more to myself, which, as Bashar says, you put your gifts out there for people, you put your message out, and I've heard other people say this too, but you put it out there, and then whoever's supposed to hear it is supposed to hear it, and they'll get what they need to get out of it. So I know I've done a lot of messages, 347 to be exact, and that is a lot of talking. And so I intend that everybody gets something out of something I've said, and you take it and run and you do something with it. But it's none of my concern or business what you do with it. And I've learned also throughout this process that, or throughout this experience, that I've seen so many great manifestation coaches out there. You guys are awesome. And have inspired me so much in different areas. And then I've seen tons of other therapists and just a bunch of people on YouTube throughout the last 20 something years that I wanted to be like. And, you see Wayne Dyer and Abraham Hicks and Joe Dispenza and Bashar and just all these people that throughout the years, and Neville Goddard, all these people that have inspired me, and they're all in my heart, but I was trying to find a way to get them into, I don't know, like a program that I would create or a book that I would write. And I was trying to figure out, how can I be as good as they are? And it got me a little stressed, over the last few months. I'm like, man, golly, I have so many ideas, and how am I going to put this together to help more people? Because that is what I want to do, is help more people. And because I help people one-on-one, and I have been for 12 years, and I've just loved it. But the thing is, I say the same thing over and over to most people, because I'm me. So I'm going to give mostly the same advice or suggestions or solutions or whatever to, it's like the same message, really. And it's gotten to be more of the same over the last year or two, I've noticed. So anyway, I have recognized that the more I am myself, the better the message will be when it comes from my heart, and to not try to be like anybody else, not even try to maybe teach what they're teaching. It's more of like what's underneath. I learned this from Alex Hormozy. What is underneath the message that you're trying to get out? Like who are you underneath all of the things that you like and enjoy? And where is your heart? What was your heart saying? And I thought that was just beautiful to think about. It's like, what does your heart want you to speak and live daily? And you get to set the standard for your life. I saw this earlier in my notes, of course. It said, don't match the energy, but decide the standard. And so we don't want to ever match anybody else's energy. We want to create our own standard of living and our own standard of energy and where we want to come from. And but like I said, I've been softening more, and I feel more like I'm just more in my femininity. That's the only thing I can describe it as. It just feels so just like peaceful. And I do attribute that to actually speaking on camera, because again, being so scared to do something, I forced myself to do it because I knew I could. And I don't know where this message is coming from tonight again, but totally off. Like I had no idea what I was going to talk about, but I had ideas earlier. And of course, when they come to me, I'm like on fire. And then when I turn the camera on, I'm not on fire anymore. So I'm going to have to start doing like spontaneous, just, recordings, because I think that's going to be a lot easier for me. And the messages might be better. I don't know. But this is just me being vulnerable, I guess, and saying that this YouTube thing is very, very interesting. And as a therapist, I do have to maintain some sort of, I have to be careful what I say, because that was one thing that kept me from doing this too. I was like, I've got to concentrate on like one thing I want to talk about, like brain health, for instance. I could talk about brain health all day, or I could talk about neuroscience all day, or I could talk about law of attraction all day, but like, that's not me. I'm more general. I love to talk about all these things and kind of bring it into my interpretation of it. And then whoever needs to hear that will do what they will with it. And I like to plant seeds. I like to teach people how to open up their minds and have fun and be curious and never only identify with one person. That's what I was trying to say, I think, the whole time. Don't identify with just one person. Listen to all these people and take the gems, and then form your own, your own teachings or your own understandings of what people say. And because I do not know, I know nothing. I know what works for just me. And then I plant seeds in everybody else, and it's none of my business what anybody does with it. I'm just being myself. And so I recommend you all do that too. Be yourself, like really take the layers off, and maybe your mask you're wearing, I don't know, you might be wearing a mask or 5, and take them off and discover who you are and what you really truly want and what your message truly is. Because I've been through, like, I've driven myself nuts over the years with business. I love business. I'm a business person, but like I have that many ideas to where I would just drive myself insane trying to figure out, well, what's my niche and who's my avatar and all these things. And it's like, I want to speak from my heart, and that's what I'm doing. And I hope that it touches some people's hearts and minds. But I think the main thing is I want everybody to think differently for themselves, what works for them. To create your own energy. Don't match others' energies. And always set your standard higher for yourself. Be the best you can be, and learn who you are. Learn your emotions and how to feel them and process them. And I think that having really strong opinions sometimes, which I've had, and I still do have strong opinions about certain things, but I have really softened that to where I don't feel like I need to convince anybody. I remember Esther Hicks saying, never try to convince anyone of anything. And I was like, man, and I knew that and I heard it, but I wasn't fully implementing that. And so I try to love everybody and love where they're at and let them be who they are. Because even in relationships, it's like we tend to say, well, you're not doing this, so therefore I feel this way. And it's like, well, that's not really loving that person. That's not unconditional love when you think about it. And I had to learn this because I was like, well, that's BS. If this person does this and I feel this way because I did this. But then I had to learn, I was like, I am choosing to feel that way. I'm choosing to lower my energy and feel that way. And that's hurting me. So why would I hurt myself? And so I flipped it around to where I had more empowerment and more control over myself rather than letting someone else control me or feel disempowered. So I guess that's another piece of what I want for everybody too, is to feel empowered to be able to feel your feelings and move forward. You know, they're just an indicator of where you are. They're just data. So we don't have to like spiral from them. And Esther would always say, you know, you've got your internal guidance system, that emotional guidance system that's telling you you're on the path or off the path. Well, we are the path, like you are the path itself, but those emotions are saying, hey, you know, your thoughts are in alignment or they're not with where you're going to self number 2. You know, it's like, we don't need those old programs that aren't working anymore. They're dusty. We got to dust them off, get the cobwebs off, and or put in a brand new system. And so I've definitely had to learn that, and I've been humbled so many times. And I no longer feel like I need to convince anybody of anything, or if somebody's doing something I don't agree with, I don't care. And like Bashar would say, I can't remember what he called this, but he said the universal meditation or something was like, so what? It's just like, so what? Like, so what? Who cares? And I looked at anything that was bringing me down. It's too expensive. It's too costly. It costs too much when I've got only so much energy to create my day with and design my day the way that I want it. It's too expensive for me to waste my my energy on something that's going to hurt me and raise my blood pressure. Why do we want to do that to ourselves? Because when you put your body through chronic stress, you're going to have a disease at some point because there's so much dis-ease in your mind. So I had to flip things around and really look at, you know, where am I investing my thoughts? Because thoughts are expensive. So really think about that too. And yeah, I was listening to Wayne Dyer earlier, like I said, and he inspired this talk with no notes today. And I don't know how often I can do that, but yeah, even being able to do this without any preparation is normally it would be hard. And sometimes it is a little bit hard, but once I get going, I'm okay. But I encourage all of you to, you don't have to do what I'm doing, but get out there and out wherever. I don't know what that even means. Get out there, do whatever you need to do to put yourself in a uncomfortable position of some sort. Like, face yourself. There's no fear. It's just you facing you. And you might not want to see you, but I really highly encourage you to see you. I have to see myself every day. I have to take a selfie every day. I hate selfies. I hate pictures. I was never a selfie person. Now I've taken all these selfies every day. This is terrible for me. But I do it every day. And then I look at the pictures and I listen to myself. That was like number one, never wanted to do that ever in my life. And it has just humbled me, and it's made me feel like it's helped me love myself, because I'm not perfect and I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm just a person just like you are. And we don't know what we're doing. And, but I know that there are certain things that were hurting me that I was doing. And I know there are certain things that I was doing that made me feel better. So I tend to stick to those things. And then the more I connect to my heart, I'm able to connect to other people's hearts too and help them connect to their hearts. So it's like that heart-to-heart exchange. So I hope you guys can feel that in my messages, because that is really that's my goal. That's all I'm doing here. And I just want to help people make their lives better, because I've seen so many people in pain, and I've been there too. And I don't want people to feel that way. And I also tell myself the things that I've always wanted somebody else to tell me that maybe I didn't ever get. So I self-generate encouragement. And it has helped me so much, because this is a really lonely thing to be doing. I'm talking to a camera, and then I put it online, and people watch it and comment, and I'm getting low views right now. I'm not getting a lot of views. I don't care. I'm going to do it every day and show up every single day. and somebody will hear something that helps them. And that's really all I care about. But really, I'm showing up for myself so that I can be the light and the example for anybody that might think that they can't do something. I promise you that it's so cliche how people say, well, if I can do it, you can do it. I promise you this was my worst nightmare to do something like this, but yet it was my dream. And so that's when you know that you got to do something that scares you. They say, do something that scares you every day. And well, this scares me every day. I mean, it's like, it's not scary anymore per se, but like just the thought of the word camera used to scare me, but yet I wanted to do it and wanted to be on camera. And so just do something that grows you every day. Don't give up on you, and don't let self one take over your self two that you could be. And just remember how manifestation works. Remember how if your foundation is like very pure, and you have clarity about who you are and what you want, get crystal clear on what you're wanting and how you want to feel. If you don't know what you want, think about how you want to feel and feel what that would feel like. Just that feeling, and connect to that. That's your heart talking to you, and really stay there. And that's where you're going to manifest from. It's like you won't be nervous. You won't be forcing anything or upset. It's like you're going to be at peace, and then you're going to get crystal clear on what you're wanting. And you're going to think those thoughts that align with that all day long. You're going to stay congruent with your heart. And if you stay congruent with your heart, you're golden. You've got everything coming to you at that point. And you're already feeling great. So you don't really need that thing to come, but that's when it comes. It's so crazy. And it's just natural how it all plays out and how it works. But focus on your vision, because that is where your energy is placed. And so wherever your energy is focused, that's where it grows. And so if you're focused on the things that you don't want, that's growing too. So decide which garden you're going to water, plant those seeds in your garden, and water the vision instead of what's hurting you and keeping you from your vision. Because that's not a good investment when you think about it. You wouldn't just throw money away. Act like every thought is $100 bill. Is it worth thinking this thought anymore? Or am I just going to limit myself and be broke from just giving my thoughts out everywhere? We don't want to do all that. We want to invest our thoughts with intention every day. And then you watch what happens to you internally, and then watch the 3D reflect back, because it will help you. It'll show you where you're at. So it's very interesting, isn't it? All of this simulation and this life we're in. So remember, every word is a spell. So be careful what you say, and be careful what you wish for, because you'll get it, So, and be careful about what you're assuming, and what you're thinking about, what your belief systems are, and start figuring out, how do I want to design my life to look? If I could have anything and I could feel any way, how would that be? What would I love to have? And what would I love to be? And I'll tell you that doing this is, I don't know, it's just always been something that I feel like it's helping me so much. So do what scares you and watch what happens to your insides. I guarantee you're going to change. You're going to level up so fast, and you want to upgrade. Always be upgrading yourself. You're perfect the way that you are, but always strive to be upgraded and leveling up in every area. And you won't even know, who you were before. You'll be this brand new person, and you'll appreciate the person you were, but you're going to just look back and be like, wow, I've changed so much. This is so cool. So anyway, there's a ramble for today with no notes. So anyway, let's see. Remember to tell yourself you are so loved, and tell somebody else that might need to hear that tonight. I know there's a lot of people that need to hear that right now. So I'm sending you good energy with intention, and I hope you can feel it. Love you guys so much. And remember to appreciate yourself, because what you appreciate appreciates. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.